17 men died because nobody listened to her. On May 27, 1991, Glenda Cleveland called Milwaukee police. She was frantic. A naked, bleeding 14-year-old boy was stumbling on the street outside her apartment building. The boy was clearly injured. He was trying to escape someone. That someone was Jeffrey Dahmer. The police arrived. They spoke with Dahmer. Then they did something unbelievable. They gave the boy back to him. Glenda called again after they left. She told them the boy looked underage. She begged them to check on him. The officer laughed. He told her they had it under control. 2 hours later, that boy was dead. His name was Konarak Sinfasumphone. He was 14 years old. But here is what nobody talks about. This was not Glenda's first call. She had been trying to warn police about Jeffrey Dahmer for months. She heard screams. She smelled death. She saw young men enter apartment 213. They never came out. Every single time, the police ignored her. What happened next exposed the deadliest failure in Milwaukee Police Department history. Glenda Cleveland lived in the building next to the Oxford Apartments. Jeffrey Dahmer lived in Unit 213. Between 1988 and 1991, he murdered 12 men in that apartment. Some of their bodies were still there when police finally arrested him. Glenda was not alone in noticing something wrong. Other neighbors complained too. They reported putrid smells coming from Dahmer's unit. Smells like rotting meat. Dahmer told building management it was a broken freezer. Nobody checked. Residents heard power saws running at 3 a.m. They heard thumping sounds. Screams. Crying. One neighbor, Pamela Bass, lived right next door. She heard everything. The walls were thin. She told police multiple times. Nothing happened. But Glenda was different. She did not just complain once. She became obsessed with stopping whatever was happening. She kept detailed notes. She called police dispatch 5 separate times between 1990 and 1991. Each call documented. The Milwaukee Police Department would later claim they had no warning signs. That was a lie. They had Glenda Cleveland. They had her calls. They had her reports. They had her begging them to investigate. So why did they ignore her? The answer is darker than you think. And it is about to get worse. Because what police found when Glenda called about Konarak revealed their real priorities. Let me walk you through what actually happened on May 27, 1991. The night that should have ended everything. Glenda's daughter and niece found Konarak first. He was naked. Blood running down his legs. He could barely stand. He was speaking loud but could not form full sentences. Dahmer had already drilled a hole in his skull. He had poured hydrochloric acid into his brain. The three women called 911. Officers John Balcerzak, Joseph Gabrish, and Richard Porubkin responded. Dahmer met them outside. He was calm. Charming even. He told officers Konarak was his 19-year-old boyfriend. That they had an argument. That Konarak was drunk. Glenda and the other women protested. This is a child, they said. He needs help. He needs a hospital. The officers told them to stay out of it. This was a domestic situation between two adults. Then Dahmer did something brilliant. He invited the officers inside. Apartment 213. Where 4 bodies were actively decomposing. One was on the bedroom floor. Officers Balcerzak and Gabrish walked right past it. They saw photographs on Dahmer's wall. Photographs of naked men. They thought nothing of it. The apartment reeked. One officer later admitted the smell was overwhelming. But they assumed it was from garbage. They did not investigate. They did not check IDs. They did not call for backup. They did not question why a naked, bleeding, disoriented boy was with this man. Instead, they radioed dispatch. The audio still exists. Officer Balcerzak laughed. He said they were returning the boy to his boyfriend. Another officer joked about needing to be deloused. The homophobia in their voices was unmistakable. Glenda called again after police left. She was recorded. You can hear the desperation in her voice. She told them the boy looked underage. The dispatcher dismissed her. Said officers checked it out. Everything was fine. Konarak Sinfasumphone died that night. Dahmer strangled him. Then dismembered him. His skull was found in Dahmer's apartment during the arrest. But here is what nobody tells you. And this is the part that changes everything. Konarak was not Dahmer's first victim from the Synthesumphone family. In 1988, Dahmer had molested Konarak's older brother, K-Sun. He was 13 at the time. Dahmer drugged him, assaulted him, took photographs. The boy escaped and told police. Dahmer was arrested, convicted of second-degree sexual assault. He served only 10 months. He was released early for good behavior in 1990. The Milwaukee Police Department knew all of this. It was in their system. If officers Balcerzak and Gabrish had run Dahmer's name that night, they would have seen it. They would have known he was a convicted child sex offender. On probation. They never checked. Not once. Here is what makes this even worse. After Dahmer's arrest on July 22, 1991, the full scope of police negligence came out. Officers Balcerzak and Gabrish were fired. But the Milwaukee Police Association fought for them. Hard. They filed grievances. They said the officers followed proper procedure. In 1994, both officers won their jobs back. With full back pay. $5,000 each. By 2005, John Balcerzak had been promoted. He became president of the Milwaukee Police Association. Glenda Cleveland never received an apology from the Milwaukee Police Department. Not once. Not ever. Investigators found that if police had arrested Dahmer on May 27, 1991, 4 lives would have been saved. Konarak Synthesumphone, Matt Turner, Jeremiah Weinberger, Oliver Lacey, Joseph Braidhoft. All murdered after that night. Glenda testified before the Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission. She detailed every call she made. Every warning she gave. She asked them one question. Why did you not listen? The commission found the department guilty of gross negligence. Officers violated multiple protocols. They failed to identify the victim. They failed to investigate. They failed to check backgrounds. They returned a minor to a sexual predator. But the real reason they failed is uglier. The victims were mostly young men of color. Many were gay. Some were from low-income areas. Dahmer was white, well-spoken, employed. The bias was obvious. The commission admitted it. Systemic prejudice allowed Jeffrey Dahmer to kill for years. Glenda Cleveland died in 2011. She was 56 years old. She never stopped fighting for the victims. Never stopped demanding accountability. This story is not ancient history. It was 32 years ago. Some of those officers are still alive. Still receiving pensions. Still protected by the system. Glenda Cleveland did everything right. She saw something. She said something. Over and over. She trusted the system to work. It failed her. It failed 17 families. It failed an entire community. The Milwaukee Police Department never implemented the reforms they promised after Dahmer. A 2020 investigation found similar patterns of negligence still exist. Calls ignored. Complaints dismissed. Vulnerable communities unprotected. Glenda Cleveland deserves to be remembered. Not as the neighbor who lived next to a serial killer, but as the woman who fought harder than the police to stop him. She did their job when they refused to do it themselves. Her daughter said something that still haunts me. If one officer had listened to my mother, just once, those men would be alive today. She is right. That is the lesson. Systems do not protect people. People protect people. Glenda Cleveland proved that. If stories like this make you question everything, hit subscribe. We expose the truth they want buried. Every single day. But here is what I need to know. How many other Glenda Clevelands are out there right now, screaming into the void while nobody listens? Subscribe for a new dark truth every day.